Welcome to another edition of Comic Book Business News. It is I, Josh Goldstein, on this uh, lovely day, 5/15/2020, and now it is the news. Um, Wizard World 2020 Philadelphia has been canceled, as well as St. Louis. Uh, and Star Trek Discovery uh, is already spinning off new adventures in the Final Frontier. And Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden at it again. But first, uh, the world news. COVID-19 continues to grip the nation. Uh, uh, President Trump and Dr. Fauci are debating when to let the country open up. As this happens, Major League Baseball is opening up its season July 4th, and some sports are are ending their seasons. The AHL has formally ended their season. The NHL is still in hiatus, and the National Basketball Association is still in hover mode too. The NFL has stated when they will resume playing, and there is already an NFL schedule. Whether it will be live games with fans or just empty stadiums will depend on what happens with the Major League Baseball uh, uh, season. And it probably what will happen is that the first month or two of the football season will be um, actually uh, will actually just not like will be actually empty stadiums, and by November or December, uh, the uh, the it will be fucker will be fans will be allowed into stadiums, but they may try to space out, like only one like space. There may be thoughts about how many fans can be together to so and so uh, also in the Middle East, annexation of the West Bank. Netanyahu is laying down the groundwork for annexation of the West Bank. So Israel will annex parts of the West Bank, including the Jordan Valley, very soon, but not before June 1st. And it has more or less been approved by President Trump and Secretary Pompeo. So this will actually be good for Israel, and both Israel and the Palestinians, because then President Trump could determine whether the Palestinians get a state or not. And if the Palestinians still are holding out for the whole caboose, they're only doing themselves a disservice and helping what they don't want to happen. And also, Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden on campaign for deciding like uh, um, Bernie Sanders is fearing there might be um, a possible Trump victory. So Sanders, but so Sanders fears that maybe a Trump victory due to some of those things happening this year, the attitude of some people. So, like, possibly people can't be too disappointed Sanders wasn't nominated. It may be more, important to not to have Trump as president. Joe Biden might not be the worst president. So, and now the comic book news. Star Trek, um, Star Trek Discovery is leading into a new Christopher Pike show. The USS Enterprise is back on CBS. So this is the original Enterprise that we saw in the classic Shatner Nimoy series. This is CBS's attempt to retrofit the Star Trek. You're going to see classic chair and bridge scene. So this is going to be the bucket seats and the whole jalopy you saw in the original Star Trek series. The little skirts and mini dresses the girls used to wear, the blue and the yellow and blue outfits. Maybe we're getting into some classic Star Trek shenanigans, like a red shirt dying, and certain things that were cool about the original series. This is going to be, the actors are going to be Rebecca Romaine, who was married to John Stamos for many years, is going to be number one. Maybe some fans remember number one, the original number one, originally played by Michelle, by not Roddenberry's wife. In the original pilot, The Cage. And she often played for many years Nurse Chapel as well. So also, besides Rebecca Romaine, Nathan Peck, I think his name is, will play Mr. Spock, and Christopher's Pike actors has been announced. So the Christopher Pike from Discovery will be the Christopher Pike from on this show, and so will the Spock. So basically, this trio was in Star Trek Discovery season 2, when there was a little Enterprise time, but not much. And it, like, Star Trek Discovery wandered away kind of from the crew of the Discovery and their adventures into Captain Pike, because Captain Pike, as you remember in season 1, came aboard the Discovery and was the temporary captain, and Spock was joined up and served aboard the Discovery a little bit. And so I think the whole point of ending Discovery and spinning off a new series was this is a lot proving a lot to be a lot more in demand than the Discovery, which is very boring, and you wander off into too much Trek unknown. Nobody likes the look of the Klingons; they're too strange. Nobody likes the ships are strange. They're strange, and like nobody likes the USS Discovery. Um, and although Michelle Yao played a good captain aboard the Shenzhou, um, and she played a good alternate universe Empress, and it's kind of like no one really liked um the no one really liked the Discovery show as much as other shows. And so like it's going to end after 2 seasons, which is pathetic. And this show will be so cool. It will reinvigorate the fans in the way they wanted it to do. And Picard is doing well. It's already in season 2. I think they're not taking advantage as much to make money off of Picard. It's more of like I would still having to wait for my DVD. I still want to get the DVD for Picard. I think it's coming out in October. So I will enjoy that. I have my new John Wick 3 Parabellum DVD today. So I'm happy. And so and there is Space Force is a new in the news. Donald Trump unveiled the Space Force flag. I guess he had nothing to do today. I know he had press conferences about coronavirus, but unveiling the Space Force flag, it looks so strangely like a Star Trek logo. I guess they just figured that's already started, even though we don't have any spaceships. And possibly what would be our first spaceships names. I know in Star Trek it's the Columbia and the Enterprise. The first NX class ships. But I wonder what would be our first if we actually made interstellar ships. What would they run on? Nuclear power? This is kind of the sometimes in life you think how could an interstellar ship run? I think nuclear power would be a good thought. Then again, when we are writing all these science fiction books and the graphic novel books, we sort of don't really give it much thought. We solve the answer ourselves that this is suspending belief, and we could have a standard way of doing things, and don't use any phrases that are to to a certain limit, like no warp drive, perhaps light speed, no no perhaps use the lasers a lot. And laser, not phaser. Like Star Trek is to a copyright is to individual uh, using basic terms. If you have a sword made out of laser, it's a laser sword, not a lightsaber. So, also for a short moment, I will talk about the problems facing comic book stores. And comic books, I have a friend of mine who's been my friend for many years, and his store is having some problems because of COVID-19 and the shutdown. Some stores are already open because they're in strip malls and they're in small town downtowns, and they could open up the store and they're doing and things are better than the store in the mall or the store in the outdoor mall, where you need sort of a community permission to open up your store. And I think those stores need to be on the special short list of stores to receive money from comic book comic book funds. Also, the people who own these stores must know about these. So, um, it's there needs to be more publicity for these more attempts to contact these stores to inform them how to make how to get in contact with with these things. So I'm kind of actually needing needing some munchies. I almost wish I had a bag of Doritos. Maybe tomorrow I'll go get some. Go get a big bag of Doritos. I was out today. Some people were saying, "Hey, why don't you have a mask? Why don't you have a mask? Oh my God, it's like the plague. Oh my God." I know I'm supposed to wear my mask, but come on, man. Like everywhere. Maybe I should wear it like Bandito. I mean, I should wear I should wear I should wear like one of the masks like that. Okay. From um from us at Comic Book Business News, uh I hope you have a good week, good weekend, and see you next Monday.